Good evening, Commanders. Welcome to tonight's late night Elite Dangerous live stream. Last time, I came to this planet, which has some bacterium of some kind, which might be of a kind which isn't yet in my codex. So I started searching around for bacterium. However, it took me ages to find some. And eventually I decided I would look whilst off stream. Well, I found some now. I haven't scanned it yet, so let's scan it and see if it is a type in my codex or otherwise. Let's keep our fingers crossed. No, it's not the type I need. Oh well. Win some, you lose some. I thought it might be that, but it didn't have to be. So, let's, without further ado, let's take off and proceed with our long journey to the next destination. I will probably stream until 4 o'clock GMT, or otherwise known as UTC. So that's what we can see what we can find this time.
Frameshift drive charging.
I'm going to listen to the news.
Retrial requested for Admiral Tanner. The Federal Attorney's Office has called for the conviction of former Admiral Odin Tanner to be reviewed in light of events in HIP 22460. Following a distinguished career in the Federal Navy, Tanner served as the Chief Military Liaison for Aegis. In November 307, while in
Frameshift drive charging.
command of the Aegis defense megaship Musashi, he attempted to take control of Hindmine Starport. He believed it held evidence that Salvation intentionally attracted the Thargoids to the Corsair system in order to test his superweapon. Tanner's attack failed and the Musashi was overtaken, largely due to superior numbers of independent pilots supporting the former Taurus Mining Ventures, now Azimuth Biotech. He was court-martialed, dishonorably discharged, and found guilty of mutiny and unlawful military action. But his sentencing was postponed by request of Fleet Admiral Tayo Makori, who considered Tanner's intel to be crucial to his own investigation into Salvation. The Federal Times published this statement from Senior Attorney Fiona Logan. It is now a proven fact that the Guardian-based nature of the Proteus wave was intended to attract the Thargoid fleet to HIP 22460. Component analysis by Ramtar has verified that its Forerunner superweapons were almost certainly
Fuel scooping complete.
designed to do likewise. This substantiates Tanner's allegation that Salvation deliberately invited Thargoid incursions in inhabited systems. Furthermore, Salvation originally claimed that his anti-Xeno detection network alerted him to the aliens' approach, but there is no evidence that this network exists. The Federal Navy Criminal Court confirmed that a formal application for a judiciary review was received. A special panel has been convened to reassess Tanner's case. Report from HIP 22460. Salvation is dead. It has been confirmed that Salvation, figurehead of Azimuth Biotech and creator of the Proteus Wave, was killed on board the Bright Sentinel. A segment of a transmission by an independent rescue team within HIP 22460 was shared with Vox Galactica by an anonymous source. The team was reporting back to the Musashi megaship, which has now returned to the T-Tauri system. Captain Kadir, this is Drummond. You're not paying us well enough to be in this hellhole. There are Thargoids everywhere we turn, but we found out what you wanted to know. It's not good news. We finally managed to get close to the wreck of the Bright Sentinel, near where the bridge used to be. Bodies were drifting among the twisted
System scan complete.
metal, but fewer than we expected. We identified some of the command crew, including Commodore Halloran. But even before we got a positive ID scan, I recognized Dr. Wycherley immediately. Nobody else could possibly look so old. He was still in his command chair, surrounded by shattered fragments of cybernetic implants, his portable medical sensors dormant. Despite his
Frameshift drive charging.
shredded and broken body, his eyes were frozen open. I reached out to close them, but a Thargoid interceptor suddenly warped in and we had to race back to our ship. I'm uploading all our data now.
3, 2,
But I'm sorry to report that our primary target was not recoverable. Salvation is dead. Azimuth Biotech has confirmed that it employed freelance specialists to locate any surviving personnel in the Proteus Wave project, and that their findings were believed to be accurate. No further statement has yet been
fuel scooping.
made. Megaship materials boost Alliance Defense Force. Pilots Federation alert. Sirius Corporation has gathered resources in the Listi system to help improve the Alliance's anti-Xeno defenses. The campaign's conclusion was announced by Captain Delfina Dominguez, commanding officer of the Chariot of Rhea megaship. Many pilots docked with us over the past week to deliver shipments of energy grid assemblies, magnetic emitter coils, power transfer buses, and titanium. On behalf
Fuel scooping complete.
of Sirius Corporation and the Allied Defense Force, I thank you for such encouraging support. I am informed that these will be sufficient to outfit 2 Sentry megaships, each armed with experimental AX weaponry. These will be placed in key systems across the Alliance, ready to respond to potential Thargoid incursions. Admiral Glass has outlined his long-term plans to senior officers in the Sirius Navy. It's clear that these are exciting times for the Alliance Defense Force. If the Thargoids come, we will be better prepared to
System scan complete.
repel them. The Council of Admirals has stated that the new megaships are expected to become operational by September 15th. Pilots who contributed to the initiative can now collect payment from the Chariot of Rhea in the Listi system. Thargoid rule claim draws speculation.
Particular.
An independent journalist has suggested that some survivors of the Battle of HIP 22460 heard a strange alien
Frameshift drive
Particular
charging.
Lapido.
sound of unknown origin. Flint firemaker Lafos published his theories via the Rewired network. Only a handful of crew members rescued from HIP 22460 managed to give garbled first-hand accounts before being placed under military quarantine. Naturally, most talked about how those damn bugs wiped out almost everyone. But a few mentioned something bizarre heard shortly after the Thargoid counterattack. These witnesses described it in various ways: ghastly, overwhelming, monstrous to name a few. Jade Sanderlin, Vox Galactica's hotshot reporter,
Fuel scooping.
said it was a noise which shook our bodies, screeching through our skulls. Now, there are no audio recordings in the public domain to share, but there's definitely a pattern if you study the reports closely. Both
Fuel scooping complete.
and suit audio systems interpret all sorts of electromagnetic emissions from Thargoid vessels. This would have to be a far more powerful cry to cut through the chaos across multiple ships. Could it have been a roar of defiance aimed at us? Or was it aimed somewhere else? And before anyone accuses me of stirring up trouble like usual, no, I haven't technically heard the alleged sound myself. Full disclosure. But someone has to speak up for those who insist it happened. I wasn't in HIP 22460 and neither were most of you. Got it? Here's where it gets interesting, though. The Federal Navy responded to my request for details by stating all HIP 22460 data was classified.
System scan complete.
The Imperial Navy refused to acknowledge me at all. The Alliance Defense Force said it was likely a symptom of collective trauma or hysteria. So the obvious question is, what are they all hiding? Congressional hopeful Dalton Chase, Governor of Andavangel 1, is one of the few people in a position of stellar authority talking openly about HIP 22460. Chase recently argued that people have a right to know everything that happened. Other broadcasters like Hamer Borichev, Kit Fowler and Joy Senna are also not accepting the silence. We'll continue demanding answers from those who are supposedly protecting us. A day of remembrance for HIP 22460. President Zachary Hudson has announced that today is a federal day of remembrance for those lost in HIP 22460 on August 9th. In a public address, the President formally acknowledged the recent tragedy. The Battle of HIP 22460 is a dark day in our interstellar nation's history. The crews of the FNS Bombardier, FNS Fortitude and FNS Varian Scott gave their lives with dignity and honor, as did many other courageous individuals. They will never be forgotten for as long as the Federation endures.
Is that one?
We recognize this massacre of defenseless crew for what it was. The latest example of unrelenting hostility by our Thargoid enemy. Another event which leads me to believe no peace can be brokered with that species. I promise, under no uncertain terms, that the loss of over 50,000 naval personnel will be avenged. Shadow President Felicia Winters provided a statement to the Federal Times. I wholeheartedly support the creation of this day of remembrance, but we are not entirely blameless in causing the disaster. If not for an ill-considered commitment of Federal Navy resources to Salvation's banner, this misguided project might never have been realized. I might add that President Hudson fails to explain precisely how we will enact revenge upon the Thargoids. Now that we appear to lack further superweapon technology, our conventional forces will be severely challenged if the conflict escalates. Palin and Ram Tar seek unclassified relics. Pilots Federation alert. 2 engineers who specialize in studying alien technology have requested deliveries of a newly discovered artifact. Professor Ishmael Palin explained the details. These unclassified relics as they are currently known, are Guardian in origin. Traditionally, such artifacts trigger a hostile reaction from any Thargoid technology introduced to it. But our preliminary studies show a molecular realignment of the artifact's crystalline structure, resulting in something that emits both Guardian and Thargoid energy signatures. This came to my attention only recently. Unusual electromagnetic fields appeared on my sensors as Commander Hurix approached Able Laboratory while carrying one of these objects. I am now offering reimbursement to any pilots who can provide more relics for further study. Ram Tar provided a similar statement. This is an exciting development in the field of xenological research. For the very first time, Guardian and Thargoid systems have interacted to synthesize a new material. Initial data suggests this is now a consistent process whenever a Guardian relic interfaces with a Thargoid surface site. The first relic I saw was gratefully received from Commander Denlacker's team several days ago. What is their purpose? Have we accidentally unlocked some transformative function that was always present? Or have the Thargoids reconsidered their technological adaptation in response to recent events in the HIP 22460 system? With the help of contributing pilots, my shared research project with Professor Palin may furnish us with answers. Unclassified relics can be delivered to Professor Palin at Able Laboratory in the ARC system, or to Ram Tower at Phoenix Base in the Mean system. Mysteries of the Thargoids. Professor Ishmael Palin, the foremost authority on the Thargoids, has authored a short article for the scientific journal The Empirical.
Surface scanned by 50%. Surface scan
Recent events
complete.
have once again brought a focus on the alien species we call Thargoids. I have witnessed governments, militaries and public figures characterize them as a mindless destructive force, akin to a swarm of locusts. I feel it is important to underscore how much is absent from our understanding. Despite many decades of research, the Thargoid civilization remains totally alien. We still have almost no true understanding of their language, society, culture, or objectives. Non-violent interactions with their spacecraft in recent years have provided little insight, other than their commitment to patrolling and harvesting meta-alloy sources. Of course, their willingness to fight is one of the few traits we definitely share. As yet we have almost no knowledge of their hierarchy, beyond broad assumptions that they follow the functional roles of known insect species. Due to the biomechanical nature of their constructs, we are even uncertain about the dividing line between individual beings and their vessels. If living Thargoids have ever been studied, as is rumored, then it is by clandestine means, concealed from the
Orbital flight engaged.
scientific community. While Thargoids frequently drag ships out of hyperspace to be scanned, not all of these incidents result in an attack. Their hostile reaction to Guardian artifacts may be something like a genetic memory, hard-coded into their technologies. Even the Thargoids' perception of time could be very different to ours. What we think of as an ancient war might be recent or ongoing from their viewpoint. However, in HIP 22460 we witnessed something new, an active countermeasure to the Proteus wave. This suggests that their perception of humanity has changed. We are no longer troublesome scavengers claiming the scraps left behind by higher life forms. Instead, we have sought to decimate their numbers again, just as with the mycoid virus centuries ago. I believe we now have the Thargoids' full attention. Our future relationship with the Thargoids is uncertain, but I'm keen to offer the reminder that we are dealing with a species of enormous intelligence and complexity, not a horde of voracious animals. We must strive to learn more about them, and hope they have the capacity to view us as something other than an enemy.
Yes. Yeah.
Thargod cult praises alien victory. A breakaway sect of the Thargoid-worshipping fringe religion is apparently celebrating the massacre of human forces in the HIP 22460 system. A message was broadcast from the Testament megaship by the anonymous woman known only as the first apostle of the true chapters. We rejoice in the Far God's triumph. Those who tried to desecrate the Dark Angels have paid the price. The Far God is calling to us from the higher dimensions, and its manifestation is closer than ever before. It is coming. There has been widespread outrage at Far God believers for their joyous reaction to the many thousands of deaths in HIP 22460. Some political
Landing gear deployed.
and military leaders have even called for the alien-loving traitors to be arrested as enemy agents. However, there is no evidence that they have any actual relationship with the Thargoid species other than idolization. Dr. Jamila Griffin of the Galactic Interfaith Commune commented, "Despite its unusual belief system, and notwithstanding the poor taste of the First Apostle's remarks, we should support the evolution of the Far God cult toward a more structured framework. We must also remember that it is a lawful institution, and only establishes hive chapels in systems with legislation that protects religious liberty. Authorities in several of those systems have stated that local Far God chapters are experiencing a surge in recruitment. Anecdotal reports suggest that these newest members are convinced the Second Thargoid War is already lost.
Gravity warning.
Let's go this way. Drive about 500 meters. Okay, these will do for a good scan. That's my 50,000. I need to finish my apple.
Warning. Dangerously low temperature detected.
Drive this way. That's 100 meters. See if this is far enough away.
Warning. Dangerously low temperature detected.
Good. If I can get that. Right, time to get back towards the ship. taking one more DNA sample on the way. I think this should be far enough away. Yeah, just finish my milk. Good.
Warning. Dangerously low temperature detected.
Wait. Right, next thing to do is get first football somewhere, if possible. I think it should be possible. So let's take off.
Landing gear retracted. Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1.
I think of I think I've got the bacterial life form already. This one. Oh. Let's check. It's 2. 2 types I haven't got. So let's see what's minimal there is on this planet. This one we type. Antimony. Yes, red. Don't think I've got the whole in time. It's aquamarine and lime, I think I haven't got yet. Yeah. Got red. Fair enough. Just get first football somewhere. Is that one? Sorry. I think I'll do this one. So much start. Oh, it's been a year. I've been exploring for a year now. So I'm going to get first footfall on this planet, and then I'm going to call time on the stream as it's coming up to my bedtime.
Surface scanned by 50%. Surface scan complete. Orbital flight engaged. Landing gear deployed.
Right. That's that done. We have now finished in the system. Right, as I said, I'm going to call time the stream now. I hope to stream again in about 7 to 8 hours time, probably close to 8 hours time, so that would be around 1 o'clock this afternoon. So thank you very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, don't forget to hit the like button, and can I invite you to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon. Thank you very much. This is Commander Clumworth out. Filming, Mummy. I'm finishing now.
Something very silly.
Have you?
I'm playing with my smartphone and
Yeah, you dropped it.
I dropped it on the back of the bed.
Oh dear.
I can't get it.